Welcome. This is to reflect with
Toria.
and I'm Tarja. We are twins, so we might sound the same. Today we're gonna reflect on the afterlife, life meaning life after death. There are a few theories out there that we are going to just give our opinions on.
We
We
think
think
happens after we die. Now, one of the theories that we usually just talk about or reflect on is reincarnation. Like the idea that once you die, you reincarnate or become something new, like an animal or a different person, maybe an insect, or maybe you just go back into the earth. And so, what's your thoughts of this? This Toria speaking, by the way.
so.
Tarja.
Tarja speaking. Well, when I think about reincarnation, like I would not like that. Like we just die and we come back as some like grass or a flower that people just trample all over us. Like I would not want that. Yeah, I don't know about the reincarnation thing. What you think?
Yeah, I feel like if our soul or the spirit do go into something else, a person or an animal, then it's like we won't have memories of our past life. Even though there's our theories or people out there that did say they have died and remember some of their memories they had in their old life and stuff. So if we not remembering anything when we get reincarnated, it's probably better. Like, 'cause who knows what your life was before that?
And that just like say that we as people we keep recycling. It's all like that's how it is. Like we recycle as humans, and so there won't be an end to human existence then if we have reincarnation.
Only if we, this Torah speaking, only if we recreate into something other than another human, then it'd be the recycling of, yeah, I know what you're saying, what the spirit, your spirit be keep living on.
Yeah, or because you can't get reincarnated as like another person too. So that's what you're saying. Like, will we come back as like is reincarnation just that one thing? Like you come back as another human, or do you come as like some object or
Yeah.
anything like that? And then what if you get reincarnated into like if you believe in like parallel universe? Would
Yeah.
you get reincarnated to a different universe? Now that'd be interesting.
Yeah, this Torah speaking. Yeah, that's the only way I could see when if a human reincarnating into another human if we on a different universe, because that make no sense that people in one lifetime could be reincarnated into two things. Like that just make no sense to me. Even though I know sometimes there's stories out there that somebody look at a picture and say, "Oh, that I remember that life," or that person. That's more so of a doppelganger, where
Yeah,
somebody look the
right,
same. and stuff.
right. That's true.
Yeah, and then I had looked at this article and it was saying how kids, because I was thinking like, do we think that mostly when we hear stories about reincarnation, it's always kids saying, "Oh, I lived this life and what's going on. I remember this when I was kids." Like, do you think that if we did have reincarnation, that your first memory of your afterlife, I mean, before you died, was, well, before you got reincarnated, was when you was a kid? Like, that's the only time you go remember it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so like you know how people believe in like only kids can see monsters or imaginary
Ghosts,
worlds
yeah.
or ghosts or things like that. That could be a possibility, but I don't know. I wouldn't want no reincarnation. That for myself personally, this target talking like I would not want reincarnation as a thing for afterlife. I can see if you wanna. I don't know. I guess it just depends on what you come back as too. What's some of the article you had said?
Yeah, one of the articles was about this one boy. I guess he was like 5 years old. I don't want to really say names, but yeah, he said that he told his mom that he was a girl in one lifetime, and how he had black hair when he was a girl, and he wore the same earrings as his mom when he was a girl and stuff. And then I guess that's what he said was in his past life. So who knows? And he said that it was in 1993. Who knows what year he is now? But I just feel like that's I don't know. I won't want to have that like you in the same lifetime. Unless you're in a different reality and it's time different.
Yeah, like you just die and then you come back like 10 years later in a different body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Because that same boy said that he seen 19 people died in a fire and he was one of the women in the past as that person. Because he was one, I guess as a woman, he jumped out the window to be, save himself from that fire.
But then you gotta think, did he just make this up? Like, just see, you know, it's like a
Yeah,
fire.
kids like to tell stories.
Right? You could never know. There wasn't another one, like,
Yeah.
a case or something?
Yeah, I guess it was like two sisters who said they was killed in a car accident, and then I guess they got reincarnated into twins. Like,
so we twins, so we gonna get reincarnated. When we get reincarnated, it's like twins or something else.
Another set of twins.
Yeah, another set of twins.
Two sisters, cousins, and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess they told their parents that. And then another kid said that they was born in the 1926, and until they was like 4 years old, and they got reincarnated, and all like, I don't know.
But it's crazy how all these stories are saying how they got reincarnated into a different person.
Yeah.
As if that's the only thing you come back as. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that's like true. I know I'm just repeating this, but I would not want to do that.
Me either. Like, unless you're in a different universe. So we both agree that unless we reincarnate into a different universe or reality, then we find we're being reincarnated into another human.
True. Yeah, that's what I would say.
And then another thing that I want to talk about with reincarnation is the idea of hypnotherapy, and how therapists, they probably use that to see maybe past lives that you might have lived and stuff. So what you think about that? Like hypnotherapy, that's like a valid thing to tell or determine? This Tori speaking now, Tartris.
Yeah. So with hypnotherapy, I think because I don't think that's believable that you can hypnotize somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's like...
Yeah, because
I went to school in like college and stuff. Like, they always say like, oh, hypnotherapy is not true. And it was a psych class. So that's why I'm basing my little opinion of like... Mm-hmm. Some people have like used hypnotherapy to stop smoking. And, you hear some of them cases out there. But I don't know about like if you could tap into your old life. If you believe in reincarnation, then... You should believe in hypnotherapy, probably. Yeah,
that's true. And then I guess studies have shown that with hypnotherapy, that people, they felt like the therapist was feeding ideas into their mind and putting false memories. So of course they're gonna think that if you, as a therapist, make suggestions of this, I pictured this was your life, and then they're gonna think of that and come up with their own imaginary things and stuff. So I don't know.
I know there's a term for that, but I can't even think about what the term was.
For
that
what?
When you had create like false memories, or you guiding somebody to a thought or hand movement or something. Yeah.
And then another thing is that they think of reincarnations with the soul may take form of, what we say, human, animal, or plant, depending on the moral qualities of the previous life actions. And I read that in a different article. Yeah, I like to read different articles, but yeah. And I'm like, what did they mean in terms of moral quality of the previous life actions? So if you was bad or an evil person in another world, so would that make you'll maybe have hardships in the next one? Like, I don't get what they mean by the moral, based on your morality. It's whether you'll be reincarnated to a human, animal, or plant.
Yeah, so I guess I kind of took it as if you was like a horrible human being, they're going to put you as like a rock. So you like non-existing,
Or they put you as a bug when you get killed.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or if you did like something so grand and great, you reincarnated as some wealthy person or whatever you think happiness or success would be. Like, how would you measure whether somebody was good or bad on Earth?
Yeah.
I guess that kind of leads to other discussion though.
But hold on. I had some more to say about that. So, say like, let's do a theory that somebody, lived their life, did the best thing they did in life, and then when they reincarnated, what you think of reincarnating to what? What you see as the most powerful or most greatest thing you could reincarnate into if you had like in your past life, you did something so great, like you helped other people, so maybe in your next life you become wealthy and have the best health or something like that. Like, you think that will happen in reincarnation, that it depends on what you did in your previous life, determine your next?
Yeah, so I guess if that was, this Tar's talking, But if that was the case, then yeah, I want to be reincarnated as somebody who was like, yeah, successful, got money, good health,
Yeah.
And not probably live forever, though.
And you don't think it should be based on whatever you did in your previous death?
I don't think it should be based on, like, if you get reincarnated, it should be just like a gamble. Like, you just random. I don't know, because it's depends on who determines what's considered good, what's considered bad. That's the only thing I see. Like, it depends on what's considered a good or bad thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, so what was your overall thinking of reincarnation? Like, do you think that's one of the theories that could be possible out here, that when we die, or the afterlife, is that we continue to live and we get reincarnated to something else?
Yeah, what would you categorize this as? Like something you would want, or something you wouldn't want?
Oh, no, I'm asking you, Sasha.
Yeah, something I wouldn't want at all.
Me either, unless it's a different universe. That's the only way I can see me being reincarnated.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So we go to our next theory about what we think happened after we die is the idea of heaven and hell.
Yeah. So heaven and hell. I feel like if this was true, it's kind of go back to what we talking about, how your morality, like whether you did enough good stuff on earth and your like scores to get you into heaven.
Yeah.
Like I would like that idea if I did go to heaven, that it'd be like this great utopian life for myself. But I guess I just don't know how would they classify, oh, you did this many good things or you did this many bad things.
Yeah.
So this determines whether you go to heaven or hell.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then we watched few shows that basically depicted heaven and hell.
Spoiler alert.
Like The Good Place, where they show like the good place was representing the heaven, and then the bad place was representing the hell, and they had like different measurements of what you did in your life on earth determine whether you're gonna get in the good place or the bad place. And I just thought it was so fascinating how they had this idea that even you did the most littlest thing, like maybe you, let's see, what you think that's the littlest thing? Maybe you made a mistake, you littered, or maybe you made a mistake and took some piece of gum out the store because you thought you paid for it, then you gonna be automatically sent to hell in the good place instead of the good place. We just talking about the show. Like, when you think that could happen, that you do one little bad thing, then you automatically gonna be sent to hell. Like, I think that's so crazy if that was really true.
I feel like a lot of people do a lot of stuff, so and some of that stuff like accumulate over time, like the bad or good stuff you did. And so I don't know, will we all be going to hell then? Like, how would you say, oh, this bad thing was more bad than this person? But they did they bad thing. And then like kids, and then especially when you're like a kid and stuff, you do a lot of stuff that you don't even think about the consequences. So, and then do that get wiped away? And you just talking about, oh, as an adult, this determine whether you going to heaven or hell based on what you did as an adult versus like if you was a kid.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I wouldn't like that concept of, like, I like the concept of heaven and how they depicted, like, in religions, some religions in the Bible, where if there'll be this place of peace and quality, relaxation, and
tranquility.
Yeah, tranquility, and that and then they depict hell as this evil fire, you get tortured every time and stuff. Like, I think that's, like, I don't know what I believe in. Yeah, I guess so. That I can't believe in it, but I guess you gotta be good in the whole life just to make sure you get to heaven, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But I wouldn't even want that because I'm like, I don't want to go to hell. Like, I don't know what if I did enough good stuff on earth just to determine whether I go to heaven or hell. Like, and then is it just your soul? I'm guessing if you go to hell, like it just be your soul basically.
It is
getting tortured.
Speaking of the good place, this Toria speaking. I also want to talk about how in this show, one of the guys do know about the good place in a bad place, and so he lived his life to make sure he got in the good place. Now, I wonder what would happen or I kind of reflected on if everybody was aware of the good and bad place. Even though today we know about heaven and hell and stuff, and people like still don't even really, change themselves, even though they're aware of a good or a bad place. Because my train of thought was that, which is I know is not true now, is that what if people did know about the good and the bad place, would they change how they is? But we got this idea of heaven and hell, and nobody have changed change how they act just to get in one or the other. Well, some people do. Like, if you really that religious type, or you try to do good, and maybe, you have the idea that you're going to go into heaven and stuff.
Yeah, but if you do it like that in terms of you're aware of it, you're going to try to, do good. It's like you being fake, like it's not genuinely like you being good. You being good just for this goal or just to accomplish this, but you're not actually a good person.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I guess I would see that as if we confirmed, or somebody like came here and told everyone this how heaven look and this how hell look, and then I can see people being ingenuine, because I feel like today we don't know it. Nobody have came out, or maybe nobody personally or anything has seen heaven or hell. So of course people gonna be like, I'm just gonna live my life for the best, and hopefully I do get in heaven. Right. But I feel like if people knew for sure and was confirmed, then it seemed more ingenuine that people would do stuff just because I need to get in heaven. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So would you think that people would change if they was confirmed that, like some of these people who serial killers or something like that? Yeah, would it be a good or positive thing? That's basically what I'm trying to get at. Would it be a good or positive thing if it was confirmed that we was able to see a good and a bad place?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like people would go out their way to do all this, like, I don't know, some people already believe they're good. So they're like, oh, I'm living my life already good anyway, so I don't need to do nothing else. But it could create more, people probably be nicer to each other. People probably do nicer things for one another. Like, people probably do more, nicer stuff. And maybe it would be a good thing. But then again, as I say, you just, like, trying to force it instead of being naturally good. Like, would they measure it, like, say, oh, you only being good because you expect this at the end, so therefore you're not good. Yeah. Or, you do all these good things, even though you expect this. But, like, I guess I'm trying to say, like, how would you determine? Yeah. Is it be based on their motives or their attentions? Or is it actually based on what they did good? And who measuring this stuff out? Like, is there somebody, like, doing a checklist? Oh, this person did this, that. Like, on Good Place, they had, like, a whole accounting room and people checking off and making sure that, like, does that actually exist? Like, I don't know if I would want that or not.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because I feel like if they did, like, the Good Place, it'd be God basically just saying what is good and what is bad, whether you get into heaven and hell. And that's how we see in today's world how people who religious types or who believe in the idea of heaven and hell, that God is basically judging you. So this would be the points to come from, I guess.
I think,
or what you consider a sin or not sin. That's what I think that will determine whether you get in heaven or hell, if we believe in the theory of heaven and hell.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is. I'm trying to compare it to, like, the reincarnation. Like, which one would I prefer? Yeah. Like, would I want to? I do like the idea of heaven. I guess that's the only part I like about the heaven and hell theory. Hell. Yeah, exactly. So I like that better than being. I don't know. I guess that's what we say about the reincarnation. Only if we reincarnated into a different universe, I like that. But the heaven one, I feel like it's just more so a step up for me. Like, I want to go to heaven.
Yeah, especially
versus reincarnation.
Especially if they depict it as paradise.
Yeah, if they depict it as utopia.
Now, what you think? Could it be possibly multiple heavens, multiple hells? Like
we create our own, whatever your idea of what a utopia or great place for you. That's what I think of when I think of a heaven. Like, would you want to see your loved ones? And, that's how I guess you want to see it in terms of heaven.
And that made me think of the movie Flatliners, where they, these people, they're like science students, and they basically would kill themselves just to see what happened after they die, and then they'll,
spoiler alert,
resurrect themselves, and that would cause them to say they seen loved ones. And I think one person in the movie, and I could be wrong, but he didn't see anything, and some people did see their loved ones. So I don't know if that could be true. I know it's like cases out there where stories of people saying when they die, they have seen a white light, they seen their loved ones who passed over, and I don't know. Do you think that could be true?
Or, like, I don't know if I would be. That could be a possibility. And I could see that, like, as a possibility. But what if it just is complete darkness? Like, I wouldn't know about that. Like, I don't know if you go into, like, a Like, well, if you just like it, because in that flatline, sometimes it was like more so in a limbo type of place instead of actually being dead. I don't know.
This Toria speaking. And I feel like in Flatliners, yeah, like, but they did was seem dark, and it's in, I guess, Nina Dobrev, her character, she did see her loved ones, I think. And I feel like if you believe in heaven and hell, then shouldn't you see your loved ones when you see into heaven?
But what you, this gonna be so bad. But what if I don't want to see some of them? So terrible. So would that be my idea of heaven?
No, because if you already want to see them, then you probably be in hell. And what about the idea that you see a white light versus seeing darkness?
Ooh,
like, why did they determine that if you see a white light, that means you're going to something good? Like, I don't know. Well, I wonder what was the breakdown of people imagine the white light signify heaven.
Tarja speaking. So if you see a white light, that could go more so with heaven. If you see darkness, maybe it's hell. Like, I can see it like that.
No, I'm saying, this Tori speaking. No, I was saying, like, why do we associate the white light with heaven and darkness for hell?
No,
like,
I don't know.
In a simpler sense, why is that? Them two colors associated with that?
Yeah, because they see, like, white as being pure and dark as being just evil thing because you can't see nothing. And then with light, you see everything. So the more you can see, oh, that's better than living in darkness.
And we also, this Tori speaking, we want to know your thoughts about the reincarnation part, the heaven and hell. Maybe you can answer some of these questions. These are just our opinion. And I feel like with heaven and hell, in terms of white and darkness, I just feel like people, I guess since the beginning of time, just felt like when we got light, it was the best thing that happened to us. And when it was darkness, it was during the worst times.
Yeah,
so that's what I connected to. What's your, like, defiant thought on that?
Yeah, it's kind of like what they had the cavemen when you see made a fire.
Yeah,
and that's more so light and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that. Also, like, people fears is more so at dark. You know, when you sleepy and stuff. That's also connected to like light and dark things.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but my thoughts is that I would like the idea of having, if it was like, a utopian type of place.
And what we decide to do.
Yeah, we
with
decide.
That. Yeah, in that heaven. Okay, that's a good theory. And then our last theory we want to speak about is the idea that we transcend after we die. So, and transcending meaning that you become one with the world, and you basically, your spirit just live on, and you become just out there and one with the universe. That's why I see transcend is. This Tori is speaking. So what you think about transcend?
I think the idea of transcending is like a good thing. Like, you could be at peace. You just one with the universe, one with the world. Like, you just like this small speck in the cosmos, as they say.
Yeah.
And then, so spoiler alert about like 100. So if you haven't seen the end of 100, I have to talk about it.
Yeah.
So at the end, they like transcend into these like white lights in the space and stuff, or well, in this other like plane of existence.
Yeah.
And I can like that idea of being just this light, just absorbing to everyone. I don't know.
Yeah, absorbing to the universe and stuff. Like, yeah, with the idea of the 100, they transcend and they became one with everyone, and they was in this like utopian, relaxed state of mind where I guess they were like kind of conscious after that. Like, there was more of a one consciousness mind or something like that, I think. Yeah, I guess I would say that. And then in the good place, they also did that at the end. So spoiler alert on that. That at the end they become either you could stay in heaven or the good place, the actual good place, or you could have transcend where you become one. And I wonder what that means, like becoming one with the world.
Right. This Tar just talking. Yeah, but when I think of that, like, I don't even like groups, but in like a simple way.
Yeah.
Like, I want to become one with everyone.
Yeah.
Like, it should be at true peace.
Right.
Like, and instead of just your consciousness, like, you still aware of things around you, even though you at one with everyone. Like, we all share this one big consciousness. Like, now thinking about it, would I really want that?
But I was thinking that maybe if you transcend, you'd be so in this peaceful state of mind that you wouldn't even care that you in one conscious. But I don't know. Is transcend meaning that everybody become one conscious? I just think it's more so being one with the universe and in a peaceful thought in mind, body, spirit. just transcend.
Yeah, I do like the thought behind it about the peacefulness and you not in like pain or anything like that.
Yeah, I can see that. And then with transcending, also the kind of what we talked about reincarnation, that maybe we transcend to another world.
Oh,
could that be a possibility?
Yeah. I like how we keep talking like, yeah, you could be in a different universe. That's great. Like, I want to see that. But yeah, I think like the idea of being transcended more than being, if I compare it to reincarnation, I'd rather be transcended than reincarnated.
Yeah.
And then if we have this idea of if I get to go to heaven, I like that heaven aspect.
Yeah.
Maybe more so than the transcend. But if it's just like just to have an inhale, then I like to transcend better because you just a floating consciousness and you at peace. You're not in like some darkness. You don't have to deal with anything.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then I also thought of where transcend. So that means that your spirit is immortal. Like, could it be seen as you have immortality once you die? If you believe in the idea of transcend.
Oh yeah, that's a good thought. Yeah, you can be like, you are immortal if you like all y'all just your identity, like your personal self is gone, but
your spirit,
like, but you're still part of the collection. So your consciousness is still like a group thing, but you're just not that individual no more. Yeah, that's why I see it. I guess that's how I see it. So that could be like a immortal type of way.
Yeah, I can see that too. And then, so I guess I wanted to talk about how, what if we had a choice become either? Like, say like when you die, somebody come to you and say, would you like to be reincarnated? Would you like to go to heaven? Or would you like to be transcend? Now, we talking in the sense that there's no hell. Oh, because if you have the option to go to hell, be reincarnated, or transcend, you're going to choose to transcend or reincarnated. Unless they say you go reincarnated to something equally as terrible than if you was in hell.
This Tarja talking right quick, but also if you got the choice, like what you said about the choices, say you gamble on the having to have aspect. They don't tell you which one you're going to.
Oh, yeah. So they don't basically say if you're going to be in heaven or hell. You just have to choose one of the three. Now, that'd be interesting. Like, I kind of probably like that better. Like, either you have a choice when you die. Say, you want to be reincarnated, go to heaven or hell, or to be transcend. That'd be great if that really was true, that after you die, that you get to have that choice. Or another theories. Who knows? Maybe you guys in the comments have more theories of what could happen to you after you die.
Right. And then say you have all these options. It's gonna be more options they give you too. Yeah. That's say your like thoughts about what you think happens when you die.
And then I also want to talk about what if people knew about all these methods. Like, what was it in the Discovery? It was another movie that we watched, and basically in Discovery, this guy, he was like a scientist, and he discovered spoiler alert, that he discovered what happened after you die. And basically you just on a continuous loop of your life, but in that life that you live, you get to make different choices, that stuff that you regretted when you was alive.
Right. But in that one, you was stuck on, I think, one memory. Like, I would never want that. Just keep reliving my own life. Like, I already lived through it once. I don't want to go through it again. Like, I would not want that at all.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then my question is, like, if people did discover what happens after you die, like in that movie, The Discovery, once people found out what happened after you die, more people died.
Because they want to commit suicide.
Yeah, so they did.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to commit suicide. Some actually followed through because they knew what happened after you die. But if you commit suicide, will you end up in a place that you see? Like, who knows?
True. Yeah. And this guy, he's supposed to have said that he discovered what happened after he died. And I feel like that's true to this world. Like, if people found out how they died, how they gonna die, what happened after you die. Yeah, after you die, that more people will kill themselves. Which is a morbid thing to think about.
I agree.
Yeah, but I just like to, we just would like to reflect on, give our opinion on what we think happens after we die. We want to know your thoughts, what you think, if you agree with some of our statements, if you don't. And I guess you all can reflect on what you think happens. We signing out. Thanks for listening. Bye.